Nowadays, you'd be hard-pressed to find a young guy walking around that doesn't look 5 years younger than he actually is. This is because the entire world is set up to shut down one crucial hormone, testosterone. Chemicals in the water supply, ultra-processed food, and an estrogenic environment has all contributed to this rapid decline. And it is no accident. The people that rule over us have made a concerted effort to feminize men as much as possible, because that way we are easier to control. Testosterone compels you to disobey. But that is a topic for another day. Perhaps if the comments demand it, I will make a video proving that it is a deliberate effort. Rather, in this video, I will tell you exactly how to develop your body to be the best it can be, masculinize yourself to make you the strongest warrior you can be against tyranny. First, I want to address the elephant in the room, anabolic steroids. With the emergence of popular looks maxers such as clavicular and the ASU frat leader, the use of exogenous testosterone has become increasingly attractive to many young men. However, testosterone is only one piece of the puzzle. Androgen receptor density and sensitivity play an equally important role in masculinizing the phenotype. Because without the androgen receptor, testosterone has no use. I do not recommend testosterone, though, as it makes you infertile and will shut down your natural production. I will be talking about how to develop naturally, but if you were to implement steroids while doing all those things, I advise you would find greater success than doing either alone. Our body has these little receptors in every single part of our tissue called androgen receptors. And without androgen receptors, testosterone has no use. In androgen receptors to testosterone as a radio is to frequency. Testosterone binds to the androgen receptor, and then something happens, and then your muscle grows, and then your beard grows, or your clavicles elongate, etc., etc. Androgen receptors are essential and necessary for the development of a normal male body. And to increase androgen receptor sensitivity, you need to do a variety of things. The first is proper sleep. Because of our phones, our eyes are constantly inundated with a harsh blue light that signals to our brain that it is still daytime, disrupting our circadian rhythm. This is the main reason why so many people nowadays experience insomnia, when 100 years ago it was extremely rare. To achieve good sleep, you need to fix your circadian rhythm first. So, to do that, you need to stop looking at your phone before you go to bed, or at least wear blue light blocking glasses while you look at your phone. And when you wake up, interact with the morning light as much as possible. Walk outside in the sun, don't look directly at the sun, just look at the morning light. And lastly, and most importantly for your circadian rhythm, is to go to bed and wake up at the same time every single day. Me personally, I'll go to bed at 11 or 12 o'clock and wake up at 7 or 8 o'clock every single day. And I sleep wonderfully. The first couple times might be hard, as you might have to wake up a little earlier if you couldn't fall asleep fast enough, but your body will acclimate. Just try to get 7 to 9 hours every day. The second thing you need to do to increase androgen receptor sensitivity is a high protein diet. And not protein from soy milk or protein chips, real protein, animal protein. The three most androgenic sources are beef, milk, and eggs. My go-to personally is ice cream, because in ice cream, it's made of milk, egg yolks, and sugar, right? It's two of the best protein sources in the world, and a wonderful treat. Also, this bullshit I see about no carbs is completely stupid. We need carbs to synthesize testosterone naturally, and carbs also lower cortisol, which is an antagonist of testosterone. Another thing to lower cortisol is to not eat too little and not often enough. So get 2-3 meals a day, and never be in too much of a calorie deficit, because if you're starving yourself, your cortisol will spike and your testosterone will go down, and your androgen receptor sensitivity will also go down. The third thing you need to do is heavy resistance training 3 to 4 times a week. Personally, I used to do every single day, a week for an entire year, but noticed that my stress levels were higher. I wasn't gaining as much muscle as I could for all the work that I was doing. It just was inefficient. And that actually hindered my gains and hindered my androgen receptor sensitivity. But it can be good if you want to make working out more of a mental exercise than a physical goal thing. If you really want to train your brain to be as disciplined as possible, then you can work out every single day. That's not that bad. But I also, right now, I do every other day to great effect. Try to hit PRs when you're in the gym. Hitting PRs signals your body for strength and tells your body that it needs as much androgen receptors as possible, because there's always a fucking huge load on your muscles, and it needs that extra strength that it can get from the androgen receptor synthesis. The fourth thing you need to do for androgen receptor sensitivity is to get a low body fat percentage. To maximize testosterone's conversion ratio into DHT, which is testosterone's bigger and better metabolite. DHT is responsible for a lot of male processes like body hair, penile development, and the depth of your voice. The problem is that testosterone has two Pokemon evolutions that it can turn into: estrogen or DHT. And the enzyme which turns testosterone into estrogen, which is obviously the enemy, we all know what estrogen is, aromatase, has high concentrations in body fat. So in order to reduce the enzyme that turns testosterone into estrogen, you need to get lean. You need to get a lean physique. Number 5 is have a high testosterone level. Doing all of these things will not only increase androgen receptor sensitivity, but also testosterone itself. Things 1 through 4 will all increase testosterone, but testosterone is a funny thing because it has a positive feedback loop with androgen receptors. The more testosterone you have, the more it will stimulate the synthesis and sensitivity of your androgen receptors. So you always want to maximize those levels. And to maximize natural production, you need to make sure that you have enough zinc and cholesterol, which can be supplemented through eggs and animal fats. And also, on the topic of steroids and exogenous testosterone, if you only take exogenous testosterone but don't do anything to, increase androgen receptors, then you're only doing half what you need to do, right? Number 6 is high IGF-1. IGF-1, or insulin-like growth factor, is the main hormone that makes our bodies grow taller in our adolescence, but it also increases androgen receptor sensitivity. To increase it, it's pretty simple: get adequate sleep and drink lots of milk. The less pasteurized, the better, as milk has bioavailable forms of IGF-1 in its most raw state. There's all this shit about raw milk that we see online, and it's actually true. There is higher bioavailable forms of IGF-1 in raw milk. And on top of that, its nutrient profile stimulates your body to create even more IGF-1. So, milk is a special food, and you want to drink as much of it as possible if you can. Number 7, avoid forever chemicals. The last thing you need to do is to avoid forever chemicals like the fucking plague. BPAs, PFAs, parabens. Not only are they toxic to the human body, they also inhibit the androgen receptors, completely nullifying them. Super insidious thing. Like I said, it's kind of a concerted, deliberate effort on the behalf of our wonderful leaders. So, avoid drinking from plastic bottles, wearing synthetic clothing, drinking tap water, eating foods from plastic containers, especially hot foods from plastic containers, using synthetic fragrances, drinking from paper cups, drinking from cans. Just avoid everything that has plastic, any petroleum based product. They're your number one enemy.